Hello everyone. In this video, let's discuss about the math functions. Hash include stdio.h. This header file is used to get the input value from the user. Then to use math functions, I have to include a header file called math.h. The execution always starts from the main function, int main. Now I'll take a variable int a and I'll take a variable float f. I'm going to get two input values from the user. So scanf %d space %f a comma b, a comma f. So I'm getting two input value from the user. Let me print and check once. %d %f. I'll give new line after this a comma f, and then I'll give return 0. Let me save the code and let me run the code. I'm giving the integer value was 10, second value was 2.343. Let's run the code. So I'll give the input value 10 space 2.343. Okay, it is not getting input value. The error is I have to give ampersand before getting the input value. So ampersand a, ampersand f, because the value will be stored in the address of the variable a, the value will be stored in the address of the variable f. That is why I was not getting the output value. Let's run the code once again. Integer value is 10, the float value is 2.3434. I'll give. See, 10, 2.343400. Fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to discuss the math function. So first function I'm going to discuss is printf power function. So here printf %f comma power of 2 comma 3. So when I give 2 comma 3, what happened? It returns the 2 power 3 value, that is 8. Let me save this code and run the code. So a value 10, b value 2.343, I'll give C 8.000. Here you have to remember one thing. Let me comment this alone. These two I'll comment. Now it is not required. So when I give 2 power 3, 8. When you observe the output value, see here, it gives me in floating point values. It is not floating point value. By default, the return type of power function is double. Okay, any decimal value by default will consider as double data type only. It is of type double. If you want to print it as an integer value, I have to typecast. For example, if I want to give integer value, I'll give %d. This has to be typecasted. When I say typecasting is nothing but converting from one data type to another data type. So power function is going to return me a double value that will be converted into integer. Now let me run the code. See here, I'll get the output value as 8. So by default, return type of power is double and that will be converted into integer. This is what called as typecasting, converting from one data type into another data type. And here you can know one more thing. I want to print only 2 digits after the decimal point. So I should give %f is for floating point values, point to f. So when I give %f, floating point values will be printed. When I give point to f, after decimal point, it will print only 2 digits. So when I give 2 comma 3 the same value, it prints only 2 digits. I'll give new line so that it will be easy for us to understand. Let me run the code. See, first one is 8 and second one is 8.00. It prints only 2 digits after decimal point because I have given percentage point to f. So we have seen power function. Parallelly, we'll see square root. Printf. It also returns me the floating point value, that is double value. I'll give sqrt of 35 L2. Let me run the code. See here, first output 8. Sorry, I have not given new line, that is why it is printing continuously. I'll give new line so that we can differentiate the output values. See, 8.00, 5.916080. Similarly, if I want to print only 2 digits, what should I give? Point to f. Let's run the code. See, 5.92 I have got. Next we have to go for one more function called cube root. So for that, printf, it also returns floating point value. So point to f, I want to print only 2 digits, /n, comma cbrt, cube root of 27 I'll give. Let me save it and let me run the code. It gives me 3.00. So cube root of 27 is 3. So it returns by default floating point values, that is double value. I'm trying to print it of type float, so it is giving percentage point to f. Next we have to discuss the other function called seal and floor. So let's check what is the use of seal. When I give percentage f, I'll give, so that it is easy for us to understand. I'll give seal of 3.233. So when I give seal function, it's the values round off to the maximum value, that is 3.2323 will be converted as 4.0. That's all. See here, 4.0. So seal is the thing, but it will round off to the maximum value. Even though if it is 3.2, it will round off to the maximum value. When I give floor, printf percentage f, I'll give new line, percentage f slash n, comma, floor 3.2323. So what does it do? It gives to the minimum value of this. So 3.23 will be round off to 3.0. The seal value will take the maximum value 4.0 and the floor value will take the minimum value 3.0. Here we have one more function called round. So it gives me the round off value, comma, round 3.2323. Let me save this. So this will round off the value. So 3.23 will be given as 3.0 only, because after 3.5 only it will be given as 4. It is less than 3.5, so it gives only 3. Similarly, let me copy this and I'll give some value which is greater than 3.5. It is, I'll give 3.53. So this will round off to 4.0. See, previous was round off to 3.0 and the next is round off to 4.0. So this is the difference between seal, floor and round. These are the three functions which we have to know. So these are all the basic math functions we'll be using in the programs. Along with this we have logarithms, exponentials and other functions. Finally I'll give return 0. That's all. See, I've got the output values. If I want to print only 2 digits after decimal point, I should give percentage to f. I want to print 3 digits. So first value alone, I'll just save it as 0.3f. First value alone, I'll get 3 digits. See, 8.000. I'll get 3 digits. Remaining 2 digits and the remaining float value with 6 digits has been printed as the output value. That's all.